Hiya, and thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch my video. This video is really going to be about my take on why I believe I think some people can obviously get on and others don't. I'm going to talk about, if you like, the average working class guy, of which I am one. I think it's safe to say that during my lifetime, I've always been exchanging my time for money, and I think as I've got older, I've started to realise that this is not necessarily the way. Yes, I still do it now. I still now go to work every day or most days, and I exchange my time for money. But if you see my other videos, you'll know that I'm always looking at ways to, if you like, improve my circumstances and obviously my family's circumstances. And obviously, in doing this, I believe I've picked up quite a lot of information, if you like, as to which way to go if you want to improve your situation. Now, going back to time for money, most people, if you work in a restaurant, if you're self-employed, if you're a builder, you're giving up your time for money, and I think this is why the working classes, like normal working class people, this is why I honestly believe we don't seem to get on as good as other people. It might be that the other people are more educated. It might be that perhaps they've got a bit more money to invest. But I do believe that is the main reason, because you're like me. You've only got so many hours in the day, and unfortunately, unless you're highly skilled at something, you're 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 just not going to get the sort of money which you want. So I've watched numerous videos on YouTube. There's a guy, I ain't great at his name, Robert Kawasaki or something. He's a guy. He basically he's a self-made man, and he what he says, it makes so much sense, and he talks about multiple streams of income. He talks about obviously outsourcing and getting other people to do some of his work. And what he's doing, all this man is doing, and obviously people that have perhaps got the same knowledge that he has, is they are planting little seeds. So other areas of income are growing all around them. And the great news is that with a lot of the businesses, which some of the businesses that he's involved with, um, yes, they can fail, but if he does it properly, this money is going to keep on coming in. Now, this is why normal people don't get on, because we're changing it. We're exchanging our time for money. When we come home, when we sit down in front of the telly and we put Netflix on, or we put Sky on, or whatever we're putting on, right? That's where our money earning for that day ends. And this is not what, if you like, educated, clever people are doing. I've just been looking at us before this video, looking at a guy. He designs web pages. He's designing. He was talking about Wix. There's a site called Wix. It's basically a website builder. It's a place where you can build your own sites. And he was showing in his video how he's basically um, how he's forming a video about something, about a particular item, and then he's attaching a blog to it, and then he's linking to products in that video, which when people click on and buy, he makes money out of. But the beauty of that is, once he's made that site, he ain't got to keep on going back to it. Yeah, and this is the mistake I know I'm making, because I know I'm not doing this. My job at the moment. I'm exchanging my time for money, and unfortunately, even if I work really hard this year, even if I really try and put in the hours when I can. My mate, he said to me the other day, who I get work for, he said to me, you should earn, you should earn 40, 45, 50 grand this year. But that's it. I couldn't earn 100 grand because I physically haven't got the time to actually be able to do that. But so that's why, if you like, the average working guy is kept down because we're trading our time for money. We need to look to other ways. This video is to try and engage you into the idea of looking at other ways of earning income. I've started doing it now. I've started looking at instead of getting work for one person or for two people, because I get leads, I do lead generation. I'm looking at ways now that I can actually generate leads for multiple companies, because then I can still earn what I'm earning now, but if I'm working for 4 or 5 companies, I can 3 or 4 times my income. Now there's people out there who are doing this. That's what they're doing. They're putting systems in place where they're obtaining that lead, they're obtaining that email, whatever they're doing, and once they've got it, they can remarket to that list, or they've got the number, they've got the they're just doing an automated way of earning money. Now, I've been searching for this all my life. If you like, the way of earning money online, and I have struggled with it. I'm not going to lie. I ain't going to say I've done it, because I still haven't. It's something I'm doing now. What I'm looking to do now is to generate businesses online for multiple companies, because then I haven't got to worry if, in my case, one of the companies that I work for, perhaps it might cease trading. I might fall out with the person that I'm working for. And this is what happened to me. If you see my other videos, you'll know that this happened to me before Christmas. I basically, I was left with my head on the chopping block, basically, and I was left in a pretty difficult situation. And I had to obviously quickly look to other ways, other people who I could get work for. And I did. Within the space of about a month, I've turned it around again. But I'm still, like now, I get leads for like, I think it's about 4 or 5 different people who I actually get work for now. But there's no reason why I couldn't be getting work for 100 people. And that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to set up a system, an advertising campaign. I'm trying to set up a website where I'm actually creating leads for multiple businesses. Because then, if one of your other, if one of the other people that I work for, if all of a sudden they go bankrupt, or there's a problem, or they decide that they don't need me no more, I ain't so reliant upon them. And the other thing is, obviously, if you're working for one person, you're beholden to that one person. Yeah, I get on. I'm getting work for a few people now, and I get on work, and I get on well with all of them. But if all of a sudden I was to start earning more money with someone else, and I started saying to them, well, hold on a minute, I'm getting these leads, but you're paying me X amount of percent, but the other guy I'm getting work for is giving me 10. All of a sudden you're in a better situation. You're in a much stronger situation, because then if they want your leads and they want your time, you can say, well, hold on a minute, why am I going to work for you for X percent when I can work for them for a higher percentage? All of a sudden you become the hunted. People want you, yeah. And this is what I believe is the major difference between, like I say, normal people, like myself. I'm still, working class. I'm earning money. I'm getting leads, but I know I'm only one person, and I can't do more than what an average one person will do. So that's why now I am looking for, like I say, to put systems in place where I am. I haven't always got to go and do marketing. I haven't always got to go and work a stand. I haven't always got to go and stand in the street talking to people. Yeah, I want to be in a situation in 3 or 4 years' time where I'm actually paying for advertisements that are generating for multiple leads that are then giving me more money. Yeah, there's a company out in America that does it, and all they're doing is setting up web pages. They're creating inquiries, and they're selling these inquiries. But the difference is between what they do and what I'm doing. I've got to do it manually. Yeah. If tomorrow I get up, like today, I've got up today and it's snowing. It's rare that it snows in the UK, but it's actually snowing. I couldn't go to work today. I was supposed to be at a market today, but I couldn't go. But if I had my business online, yeah, and I was getting leads that way, I could have stayed in bed. I'd have still been getting leads. And this is how rich people make money. This is how these companies, this is what they're doing. They're getting people with specialist knowledge. Yeah, they're investing in people who have got who have got the education to actually do this. But what this video is about as well is that in my quest, if you like, to actually earn money online and to actually find out more about it, I've realised that it's actually not that difficult. Not for what I've got to do anyway. Yeah, for what I've got to do, generating business leads, it's not that difficult. You know, I need a web page. You know what I mean? I need some, so obviously try and get some free traffic. But in my case, even paid traffic, it doesn't matter, because if I can get a lead that earns me £350, £400, I'm not going to worry about paying 80p, 50p for a click. You know what I mean? Because obviously you're talking about big money, and this is what this company in America do. They're spending that. Well, I think last year they made $220 million. Do you know what I mean? I think I earned 35 grand last year. So, you know what I mean? You've got to put it in perspective. And the joke of it is they probably never stepped outside the door. They're just creating this presence online. And I know I've veered a little bit into obviously making money online, but because it's something I've been looking at lately a lot more. But it applies to your whole life. If you're, you know, it might be that you're doing something and you obviously want to earn more money. You need to realise that it's not going to happen unless you start thinking. You need to start thinking this way. You need to start spending time educating yourself in other ways of earning this money, because you also need to think about your job security. You know what I mean? You only got to look at the people, watch the news and see these people who are working in different places. You know, at the time I'm making this, Toys R Us have just gone under. Now, all right, I'm guessing if you work for Toys R Us, you know, you're not earning loads of money anyway, unless you're an area manager. But you're still in a job, and all of a sudden that job's gone. So, wouldn't it be nice to have something in place where you're getting what I call multiple streams of income? Because that's what I'm doing now. Yeah, you know, I've mentioned in my other video, I'm actually trying to learn web design. I think I'm looking at it a different way now, because obviously there's places where you can go where you can, um, you don't really need to know HTML completely. You can build half decent websites without knowing it. And this is the way I'm going to go, because obviously I want to build my business. But you need to understand, if you want to get on, you've got to build your business. It's no good just talking about it. It's no just thinking about it. If your circumstances, if you're not where you want to be, um, you know, how's it going to change? You know, if you're working 9 to 5, you know, you might be, for example, a hospital porter, and you're earning X amount of money. You know exactly what you're going to earn, and it might be that your job's quite safe, but you need to tell yourself that this time next year, you'll be lucky if you get a 2% pay rise. So if you want to earn more money, you've got to start thinking outside the box. Yeah, this is what I'm doing now. You know, there's not a day goes by where I'm not trying to learn some sort of knowledge in a specific area, which I think can help me in my if you like quest for earning more money, because it ain't going to happen unless you do. Yeah, you really have got to, you know, and start off small. You know, that's the other thing. Like with me now, I'm going to start. I'm going to be trying to set my boy up in business soon, and you know, it's going to cost a little bit of money, but it ain't going to cost me loads, and it's going to be worth it, because you've got to look further down the line. A lot of people, when they go to do something, they talk themselves out of it, or somebody in their family talks them out of it. Or what usually happens is you usually talk yourself out of it. You need to start talking yourself into it, and because your situation ain't going to change if it don't. And I think a lot of the reason why people don't perhaps take the plunge and perhaps start looking for alternatives, I know sometimes it's fear of failure. especially if you've already failed a few times and if you like, you're worried about it not working again. But the trouble is, you need to tell yourself in life that there ain't no certainty. Yeah, there's people that work for companies and they've worked for them all their life, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's good. I've always worked for companies. I've always worked for firms where I'm getting regular money. But you need to. I think what's made me realise it is because of what happened to me before Christmas. In that I was left in a bit of a predicament. I can't think of any other way of describing it, and I had to get myself out of it, and it made me realise. I think and it done me good because it actually done me a favour. It's made me realise that I will never ever be dependent upon one person. Yeah, that is an horrible situation to be in, where you are dependent on one person or one company solely for your financial security. Yeah, that will never happen to me again, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I'm in negotiation now with different people, different builders, plumbers, plasterers, who I'm starting getting work for, and I'll never be in that situation again because it's scary. I can't think of another word. Yeah, if you haven't got a lot of savings, like I've got a lovely house, but I've not got a lot of savings, so you don't want to lose that. So you don't want to leave yourself vulnerable. Yeah, being vulnerable. Yeah, because when you're vulnerable, people can take advantage of you as well. Yeah, if you're in a position of strength, if you like, um, you perhaps haven't always got to accept what you're given. Yeah, you perhaps got to be, if you've got money, you're always in a stronger position. My dad used to say to me years ago, my dad, lovely man, he used to say to me, you always want to be in a position where if you think you're not being treated properly, you can walk away. You can walk away because you know what you're worth. You know what you're worth. Yeah, it's like me now. As much as I get on with the guy I'm working for, and I'm earning pretty good money. This is the main guy I work for. I still know deep down that I'm worth more. I still know that I'm a little bit short, if you like, on what I'm getting. But because of my situation at the moment, I'll be honest with you. I can't. I know I'm worth more, but I won't get more because of um, because of the situation I'm in. But if I was working for like 10 different people and I was getting like 2 grand off one guy, another grand off another guy, and another 1,000 off another guy, I would be renegotiating my situation with some of the people who I'm getting work for at the moment. But I won't do it at the minute because I'm not in a position to be able to do that. And this goes for a lot of people that are working for employers. You know what I mean? Because you've got no job or you can't work for anyone else, or you're having to accept a situation which really you're worth more, and you need to rise up. I ain't saying rebel, I ain't saying give up your job or anything like that, but you need to take on board that you need to make yourself more more value, more valuable. I talk about a guy I watch a lot, a guy called Jim Rohn. He talks about bringing, if you want to earn more money, you've got to bring more value to the marketplace. You've got to make yourself more educated. You've got to know more. It might be that you know a language, but if you know 2 or 3 languages, yeah, then you can demand more money than if you know one because you're more valuable. Yeah, but this video really is just to try and make you head in a positive direction, and to if there's one thing I think you need to take on board from, hopefully, if you're still watching this video, if there's one thing that I would say to you that you really need to take on board and take notice of, and that is Do not leave yourself in a position where you are solely dependent upon one person, because this can be a catastrophic mistake. Yeah, for obvious reasons. Yeah, these people these people who I call the wealthy, the rich. They've got they've got their fingers in different pies and they've got multiple streams of income coming in. They don't worry. They haven't got that worry about if someone decides to get rid of them or if that company goes under, because they're not. It's just one company. It ain't the end of the world. Yeah. It's like how can you put it? Imagine you're Warren Buffett. Imagine you're Warren Buffett. I mean, I wish I was Warren Buffett, but imagine you were. Yeah. Now Warren Buffett, he's sitting at home. Obviously, he's the guy that's made fortunes. Coca-Cola and all the other companies that he bought years ago. But he's sitting at home watching his screen, looking at the share prices change and everything going up and down and going up and something's going down. That guy cannot lose. Obviously, yes, he can if the whole market crashes. But generally, that man, he is not going to lose because he's got his money scattered everywhere. So when people take their money out of gold and they put it into silver, guess what? He's got shares in silver. If they take their money out of silver and they put it in, I don't know, they put it in Tesco shares, he owns Tesco shares. So that share price goes up. And this is the strategy that a lot of these bigger investment portfolios use. They spread their money across all the different areas of investment: bonds, high risk, low risk, blue chip companies, power companies. Now they've got these analysts who obviously, but that's what they're doing. All they're doing is spreading their risk across the whole market. Yeah, because they know that the market is going to change and overall it's going to increase over time. Yes, there'll be waves, but that's what they do. Right? That's what clever people do, and we need to adopt this same strategy, if you like, with our employment. Yeah, we need to be looking at different areas of ways we can earn income. It might be that you've got some money. You've got some money in like premium bonds. It might be that you perhaps bought a bit of gold and silver. It might be that you've got some money in some shares. It might be that you're thinking of writing a book and you're going to upload it to Amazon and you're going to earn money that way. You just need to start making the most of your time and believing in yourself and understanding that these people that are around you that seem to have it all, some of them are self-made people. Yeah? You're always going to get the kid that was born with a golden, silver spoon in his mouth and his mum and dad have done everything for him. That's just fate, that's just life. But there's loads of people, I can think of Sir Alan Sugar. He's one of them. He never had much of a start. You know what I mean? And like he obviously pursued his goals and he's done fantastic. You know what I mean? He's done fantastic. And it was all done with a and it all started with an idea. It all started with an idea. And this is what we've got to do. And don't let anyone take your ideas away from you. Don't let anyone trash your dreams, because they're your dreams. It's your opportunity. It's your life, and you really need to protect yourself. That's what I'm doing now. I mean, I know, like, I've not got loads of money, but I know, like, tomorrow I could downsize. I could buy something smaller. I could. There's loads of things I could do if I really needed more money. But I'm on about just doing it for your own, getting, improving for your own mindset, helping your family. Start trying to train your mind to think that way, to think positively. Yeah. If people start to question what you're doing, yeah, don't feel like you're on your own, because this is our great things have been achieved throughout history. I often think of it, if you like, the people who argue against capitalism, about people, the idea of investing money and making loads of money, and some of these countries, they obviously they're communist countries, they argue that it's wrong, that capitalism is wrong. And I can see how in some ways, why people would perhaps think that way, especially when you hear like some companies they're making millions and they're not paying their taxes and things like that. That annoys me. But the whole idea of capitalism, of buying something, providing a service and making loads of money at it, that is what has fueled science throughout history. You wouldn't have anything if you didn't have capitalism. You wouldn't have trains. You wouldn't have had the great railways built in America. You wouldn't have had none of that. Because why would anyone have done it if they didn't want to make money? It would not have happened. So capitalism, in my eyes, is good. Yeah, the whole idea of earning money is good. I think what's wrong, like I say, is the people that don't pay what they should pay, and the idea that there's a lot of people who are not working and getting, if you like, a fair hourly rate. But that's a subject for another video. But just take on board hopefully what I've been talking about, and that is that you need to, um, protect yourself and look at the look long game. Look to the future. Be positive. Don't let anyone distract you from what you believe, what you think is a good idea. Yeah. I'm going to end the video there. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's made you think a little bit about your situation. And it ain't done to scare you. It's just that the idea of this video was to make you just realise, if you like, about the situation you're in. Because I do it daily. I look at my situation and I'm trying to improve it daily. If you try and improve your situation daily by doing little things, planting little seeds, making a phone call, whatever it might be, then you can only do better the following day. I'm going to end it there. Please like. Please, and if you can, please subscribe to my video. I really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate if you can share it on social media. I'm trying to get my channel obviously off the ground more. But yeah, I hope it's been of help to you. Thanks so much, and I hope to see you on another one of my videos. Thank you.